So let's begin. So it's my journey. So what I designed was a eco-friendly flat pack bird box, and it started off as a work placement at Amdros in Wales, and they had an eco-friendly campsite, and they wanted a bird box. They had scrap pieces of wood, and they said, "Can you design a bird box that has no nails, no glue, and a kid can assemble it within 10 minutes?" And I said, "Sure, why not?" So I did some research looking at different types of birds, different types of bird boxes, and I found that majority of them were quite thick and required nails, and that's a lot bit of a problem, considering the wood that I used was quite thin, 4 millimeters or 1/16 thick. So I had to figure this out and learn from it and take inspiration both from myself and from the company. And from this, you can see on the left and my right, your left, it's all laid out. And the first iteration was in the center, and the last in the journey was on the right. And you can see the difference in that. That took about roughly 9 versions to make, and learning from that each step and each point. And as you can see, it comes with a little instruction manual for designing created, and you can see the idea is flat pack. So that's the version which I did in Amdro. And it was quite interesting learning new things and working with material as my element, both not just as an enemy, but using it as a sort of advantage and learning how to sort of become one with it. And as you can see, that's me and my boss at Amdro, and that stack of pile is the wood they use, which is sacrificial board they have on their packaging to protect it. So that's what I used. And from this, I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. It was 8 weeks, blast, and learning a bit of Welsh, so a bit of a tough language. So I thought this was a great idea. As you can see, that's my bird box, and wearing the lovely shirt. It's a bit, it's nice, I'm enjoying it, had a lot of fun. I thought this is a great product to bring, so why not bring it to Bermuda? So of course, over this summer I've been developing it, and some of you might have seen I've been in the newspaper, Bird News, Royal Gazette. I've been doing the Summer Entrepreneurship Program, and so through research I found marine plywood was the best wood for this because it's able to be thin, but yet resistant to that water damage and water resistance. And from that I'm able to create a thin box I desire rather than having something thick and chunky. And using a CNC machine to do such thing. As you can see, that's so cool little pattern. It's quite digital rather than me trying to cut it by hand, which would be quite hard. So this, you can see the angles, and that's the CNC machine. So imagine a drill piece on the side with an arm going up and down, creating those detailed, intricate pieces, enabling myself to have very detailed by the 1/1000th of an inch accuracy, so it's quite cool. So bluebirds, everybody knows. Bluebirds are a cavity nester, and with that, over the time, we've had a lot of sort of competition from that, and they are reliant on bluebird boxes to survive as a species in Bermuda because of the aggressive competition from people as well as kiss-kitties. I've got the whale here because that's symbolizing sort of the start to the end. So start being March time, when whales come out, that's when bluebird season starts, to end of August from that. So it's quite an interesting thing, and through this I've learned a lot, and I've appreciated meeting Stuart Smith, the bluebird expert, and talking about it, and he's like, give me pointers. And you can see the bluebird box. So it's recommended that you put it in a sort of grass area, and sort of near some fence or something that they can perch on. And as you can see, if you might be able to see a bluebird nest in there, they're quite neat, and unlike kiss-kitties, which have a lot of trash in them. And you can see on the top flap, if you can see quite clearly, is indents for the fledglings to climb up, which require. So the SSEP, the Summer Entrepreneurship Program, which I mentioned, I was luckily one of 10 chosen to do this, so I got a bit of funding as well as mentorship through the BEDC, another long, Bermuda Economic Development Corporation, really long stuff, words, you can shorten it. Getting out of breath here. Anyhow, so I learned a lot. On the left is Naeem, alum, the project coordinator, really good guy, helping and just working really hard. That's myself. And then these two girls were just walking by. I was selling a bit at Washington Mall, and they weren't buying, but just sort of interest them and show them and sort of educate them, which is quite interesting, and seeing how they enjoyed it. And this is myself at Dockyard before I was selling them, just to get people's interest. And it's some tourists, shirtless, coming back from Snorkel Park. They like it, I don't know why, but so they enjoyed it, and I was teaching because actually there's bluebirds in the east coast of America, It's the eastern bluebird, and there's a mountain bluebird. And Bermuda's bluebird is a subspecies of the eastern bluebird, so we're special in that sense. And this is me with myself. I'm not just by myself. My mom's taking the pictures. She's helping me. I'm not narcissistic. I just wanted to point that out. And so this is me with my bird box in my little like fancy tent. Costs a lot of money because Bermuda, but I enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and I've had a lot of fun. And from this, what I've learned is marketing. The simple social media. Though I'm young, I'm a bit lazy sometimes, but I'm learning to be less so from this, as well as trying to learn new things. And so Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and all that thing, and just keeping up to date and learning new things and getting people interested and engaged. And this is what I designed. As you can see pictures earlier, this is the Happy Bird Co. So I designed this, I studied product design, but I've also used like Photoshop, Illustrator, and design to create my sort of product, and I've sort of done this all myself. It's quite an interesting experience, learning all these new things, and it's been a tough summer, but I've enjoyed it. So. And this is how I got the background. My background being my family, and helping me and supporting me financially with the food, feeding me, as well as helping me emotionally through this tough time. It's the summer, it's tough. We have a vacation, it's, we have a lot of time, And also, me in a fancy outfit is because I work at OBMI during summer, the architects firm, if nobody knows about that. It was good, I'm enjoying it, a lot of fun. And the moments, the beautiful moments is just the amazement of these kids' eyes as they open, as they, the kid on the hat in green looking at the bluebird egg. Not a real one, my mom painted a lovely blue one version. Trying to save birds, not kill them here. And there it is, that's my Bluebird box. You can follow me on Instagram and Facebook, learning all that marketing, getting in there, called the Happy Bird Co. So that's my sort of journey. Thank you. Pardon? They're $45.
Hello?
So the woods I have is from Gorham's. It's mahogany and plywood, and it's cut out locally using a local CNC company. Right now, I am going back to university, and I want to do further research and development of it. So I'm right now holding back because I'm a student, so I don't have much money to invest as much, and time-wise, and I want to make sure my mom has time because she's been helping me like cut it and stuff. So don't want to keep her in the dark while I'm having fun partying at uni.
So we have a mic for the questions, all right? So they can be recorded as well as their answers.
Hi. A question on the grooves that you've put in for the fledglings. I hadn't heard of that before. So where did you learn to put the grooves in for the fledglings?
So when you get a bird box, most people don't have grooves already, and you're actually supposed to, a lot of people use Phillips screwdrivers or such, and it's used to help them grip. Because this wood's marine plywood and it's quite flat and easy, and most bird boxes are quite rough wood, and they use that rough wood to grab and grasp, so that's why these sort of indents are created from that.
Any more questions? Let me just give you the mic so everybody can hear it.
Does this bird box avoid the kiskidees?
It's not kiskadee proof. It's a sort of first development of multiple stages rather than scope creeping and trying to do so much. I'm just trying to start off with one thing and then develop through there and try new things and then work from there. It's the idea of it's for kids, and you don't have to have parents nailing it and hammering it, and kids become more emotionally invested in the bird box and the environment, getting the younger generations in there.
Why bluebirds?
Because I'm from Bermuda, and that's a really popular bird, and I thought, why not help them? And further that, I'm actually going to be hopefully in the next, with my development when I'm in uni, is to help other birds in other places, and bats in other places around the world, and help other species. So it's sort of a start, and of course help bluebirds.
Good evening. I understood it was the smallest sparrow was the biggest trouble for the bluebird boxes. I never heard of the kiskidees. Can you elaborate on that, or?
Well, the kiskidees are quite aggressive birds, and due to the fact that they require the nests because of normally they would be perching on trees or other such things, and kiskadee would be taking and being more aggressive and pushing them out. That's why they are reliant on the bluebird box, and that's why sparrows are seen as an enemy as well.
Do we have any more questions?
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Christian.